Good morning. I'm here at the Cow Creek Trailhead, located inside the Rocky Mountain National Park. Again, you're probably like, weren't you just here a couple times in the past few weeks? Yep, and I'm here again. That's looking at the McGraw Ranch. I'm gonna have to hike through that for a moment. And then I'm gonna go for Sheep Mountain right there. Originally, I was gonna try and take it up the southeast slope right there, but due to this wind, I might have to take it up the North Boundary Trail, up to kind of like this little saddle area, and then up the East Ridge to the summit. Official start time, 6:55. Although this is a pretty short hike, we're looking at just under a 2,000 foot elevation gain. I am just outside of the McGraw Ranch here at the North Boundary Trail split, and due to the wind, I'm gonna split off to the right, because if I keep heading off in this direction, I'm gonna get smacked with that wind for the next mile and a half. So instead, let's take it up the North Boundary Trail, and then once we get to the high point, that's where I'm gonna split off and start the bushwhack. And honestly, I feel like I'm out of the wind already. I can hear it just whipping over top me, but I'm not really getting it. I am now exiting the Rocky Mountain National Park and entering the Comanche Peak Wilderness. However, you really wouldn't know that because somebody stole the sign. And I am up to the saddle. It's just now 7:20, so that took me about 25 minutes to get up here. That's looking back at the trail that I have just come up, and I have knocked out roughly 600 vertical feet. So I'm looking at a little over 1,300 more to the summit, stretched out over the next 1.4 miles. All right, let's do it. I just took a quick 5-minute little break, readjusted the gear, and I'm ready to do this. It is a beautiful day. I was kind of upset about that speeding ticket I got 2 days ago, and I was gonna stay home. But then I was like, no, I'm not gonna let the man hold me down. It's gonna be a nice day. I'm gonna go hiking. So far, this bushwhack hasn't been very bad. I hope it stays like this the entire way up, but it never does. Whoa, that's a big bone right there. At some point along here, I crossed back over into the Rocky Mountain National Park, but so far this bushwhack isn't bad. It's actually quite enjoyable. Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this bushwhack. It's just hard enough. Most of it is pretty open through here, but you'll run into a few spots that are a little hairy. Mainly it's just down trees. And there's the summit. I've been hiking for just over 1 hour, and I have a little over a half mile more up to the summit. I'm still grinding. Just checked the GPS again. Looking at about 3/10 of a mile up to the summit. I've been hiking for 1 hour and 25 minutes. This isn't quite the top, but I am really close. All right, guys, and we're up here. This is going to be the summit cairn for Sheep Mountain. It's just now 8:45, so that took me 1 hour and 50 minutes to get up here. I've had the glove-ins going this entire time. Oh yeah. Dang, this thing's good. And this is the summit view. This is about as good as the Sheep Mountain that I did last week. Couldn't see anything from up there other than a bunch of trees. I'd say this one is a tiny bit better because I can kind of see through right there to Mummy Mountain. But this is it. The summit of Sheep Mountain. This is a cool summit cairn. It's got the antler up here. As you can see, I've got all my cold weather gear on because it is just a tad bit chilly up here. And as I've been sitting here contemplating my place in the universe, I think I have decided to keep hiking on in a western direction and take it on down to Bridal Veil Falls. Well, guys, it's about 9:30. I've been sitting up here for about 45 minutes, but I'm gonna start heading on down in the direction of Bridal Veil Falls. All right, let's do it. Heading on down to Bridal Veil Falls. This is rather nasty over here. I mean, this is as good as it's looked the entire time. And this is what I'm talking about. Awesome views. It's getting a little better down here. It was pretty haggard at the top. This is a tricky bushwhack. Much more difficult than the hike up to the Sheep Mountain summit. I've done this hike once before, sorta. I must have misread the book, but there's actually another high point to the north of the Sheep Mountain summit, and I thought that was the summit. So I went back there and I skirted the legitimate summit, the one I was just on today, and then I took it from there down to Bridal Veil Falls, which was a little bit of a different variation, but I was still able to connect it. But yeah, my goodness, look at this right here. Since I messed up the previous Sheep Mountain video, I'm probably just going to take it down, which is a shame because on that hike I found this really rare flower called a wood lily. Just this bright orange flower sticking up. I almost just messed this up. Well, actually I did mess it up, just not too terribly bad. That secondary high point that I was saying was to the north of the true summit. I actually started going around that, which you can't do. There's one little area that drops down to Bridal Veil Falls, and it's just to the south of that high point. So I'm having to hike halfway back around it, and then I'm gonna have to take a right and then drop it down up there. Yeah, if I would have kept going to the north and then tried to drop down on the north side of that high point. It's like a cliff over there. I wouldn't have made it. There's only one area that drops down, and I missed it, unfortunately. Perfect. I'm right where I want to be. There's this tiny little up and over, but you have to go over the saddle between Sheep Mountain Summit and then that high point to the north. You want to squeeze through right there. There's that other high point that I was talking about. That's the thing that I thought was the Sheep Mountain Summit in the first video. It's pretty fun getting up there. I just really wasn't feeling it today. But this is where we want to go down. This is starting to look familiar again. I think I remember saying in the last video that you just want to keep Dark Mountain in front of you, and then eventually I should drop in on the falls. Yeah, this part's looking real familiar. I think this is where I want to go down. This is one of the prettiest sections of the hike so far. Wow. Yeah, it was right through here somewhere where I saw that wood lily. I remember it was kind of off the trail from where I was going down. And I was like, what is that orange thing over there? And I hiked over and got a picture of it. You're like, dude, shut up about the wood lily. We get it. You saw one. Looking at 3/10 of a mile or so down to the falls. This ain't looking good. This is not where I want to be. I got to navigate this little water crossing right here. Oh my goodness. That stupid tree. Yeah, I'm cutting this too short. I should be coming around the backside. I'm gonna see if I can cheat it around the front here. Ooh, I don't know about these rocks though. This is really not the place you want to have an accident. Instead, I'm gonna climb up right there. I'm in a really bad spot. I can't get across the front of these rocks right here. I mean, that's a straight drop off. I'm not gonna risk it. Instead, I'm gonna turn around and just start climbing up right here. Okay, I'm back up on top of the ridge again. I think this is where I want to be. I'm just gonna keep cheating to the north until I see a way down to the left, which would be the west. Yeah, I was messing up earlier. I was trying to come around that cliff face, and that's a no-go. That's not gonna work. I'm not kidding. I would not try this bushwhack unless you were prepared with some kind of electronic GPS device, because this is no joke. This is serious. It's 11:05 right now. I've been on this bushwhacking section for an hour and 35 minutes. And if you just keep hiking with that drop off to your left, you're eventually gonna run into this little section right here. And this is where we want to take it down. This is like the only place you can take it down. When you come to that first downhill part that I just showed you, don't go down right there. Kind of keep cheating to the north and take it down in a diagonal until you hit this big open spot. You kind of want to drop in to the north of the falls and then work it back. At least that's what I did last time. But yeah, I think I'm almost there. Yes, and that's going to be the Cow Creek right down there. I just need to find a way to cross it, pick up the faint social trail on the other side, and then hike it on down to the top of Bridal Veil Falls. Made it down to the Cow Creek. Now I just need to find a way across. And I think right here is going to be the spot. I'm just going to run and jump. Yes! I'm feeling good right now, guys. I've made it across the water. I'm on the tiny little social trail, and I am not very far from Bridal Veil Falls. And we're here. Bridal Veil Falls. Yes. It is just now 11:20, which means that took an hour and 50 minutes to hike from the summit of Sheep Mountain down here to Bridal Veil Falls. After 3 hours of hardcore whacking, I'm just a little raw. My feet are a little raw. So I soaked them in the river. What did you think I was talking about? Well, guys, I've been sitting up here at the top of the falls for about 30 minutes. I soaked my feet, dried my hat, and I think I'm gonna head down to the bottom part of the falls, get a few pictures, and then probably head on back. This is literally the last difficult section of the hike. I've got to get down this little part to the bottom of the falls. What a beautiful day. That's looking up at Sheep Mountain. I'm Coming down this trail is a cakewalk. God, this is so nice. Whoa! It is so nice out here right now. Finally made it back down to the trail split. 2 miles back to the Cow Creek trailhead. Made it back to the North Boundary Trail split, which means I've completed the loop. And I am back in the McGraw Ranch. Probably my favorite ranch in the Lumpy Ridge. And we're just about back, guys. And this took an hour and 5 minutes to get from Bridal Veil Falls down to the trailhead. We're looking at about a 7-mile hike. And how it breaks down is that it's 2.2 miles from the trailhead to the summit. That took me an hour and 50 minutes. It's roughly 1.5, 1.6 from the summit down to Bridal Veil Falls. And that took me an hour and 50 minutes. And then I think it's 3.2 from Bridal Veil Falls back to the trailhead, and that took me an hour and 5 minutes. So yeah, awesome hike, beautiful day. I loved it. I hope you enjoyed the hike, and until the next one, peace.